3, 2, 1, and...
So at the time of recording, the US elections are currently happening. So I feel this would be a perfect time to talk about a certain film. Let's get into it.
Now, the government has failed to spell out one single fact concerning alleged discriminatory practices against blacks by the Trumps. I motion to have this case dismissed on summary judgment.
Overruled.
Hello there,
Clapper.
Hello there, Clapperheads, and welcome to a brand new edition of ClapperTalks. I'm Nick Dorian.
And I'm Kelvin Tay.
And we are here today to talk about The Apprentice.
The movie, not the TV series.
Two very different things.
Yes.
So The Apprentice came out on digital about a month ago, I think, or October 10th it released in the States. I think it came out on digital maybe about a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
And this is a film that I've been very interested in since the announcement of casting had happened, that Sebastian Stan was going to play Donald Trump. And I'm like, wait, how is this going to work? Like, what is this film going to be?
Mm-hmm.
And then I watched the film and I was actually very pleasantly surprised how sort of neutral it was.
Yep.
Like, it didn't set out to be, oh, look how bad Donald Trump is.
It wasn't a personal attack.
No, it wasn't.
It is a biography, just like how it was advertised.
Yes.
Right? Followed the entire, I would say, adulthood of Donald J. Trump in the late 70s, early 80s, late 80s-ish
Up to
kind
the
of
early
era,
90s.
right? When he was building the iconic Trump Tower, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically this story, again, like you said, tells the story of Trump basically becoming who he is, but also at the same time giving us a little insight into the relationship between him and the very infamous Roy Cohn.
Yep, his quote-unquote mentor, I would
His
say.
mentor and almost father figure by the end of it. And I think Roy Cohn's story, if you're not into politics, you won't know that much about Roy Cohn. And this sort of opens the door for laymen like you and me to sort of understand the relationship they had and also understand the man that was Roy Cohn. Like, as much as this is a film about Trump, it's also a film about Cohn as well. And they casted two fantastic actors in those roles. Sebastian Stan truly delivers as Donald Trump. Jeremy Strong gives a honestly Oscar-worthy performance as Roy Cohn.
You know, I should have talked to Dad before announcing the Commodore.
He'll be convinced when he reads about it in the Times, okay?
Well,
You create your own realities.
it's not that easy.
Truth is a malleable thing.
But
These are too tight, I think.
All right, well,
You have kind of a
sorry.
big ass. You know that? You got to work on that.
He managed to get all the subtleties about him, all the disgustingness about him, everything that Roy Cohn was. Jeremy Strong managed to deliver that in what I can possibly say is a haunting, disturbing, enigmatic performance.
I 100% agree, because when we talk about politics, let's just put Malaysian politics into perspective, right? Just FYI, in Renegade Radio, we never talk about politics, nor do I have interest in talking about politics. But because of this film, I just want to give it a reference real quickly.
Ditto with Clappercorn. We stay far away from politics.
Yeah, I'm in no way trying to promote or talk shit about anyone else in politics, right? Okay, disclaimer right here, okay? When we talk about Malaysian politics, it's already very messy, regardless of which party you support, right? And then when I was watching The Apprentice, this name keep coming up, which is Roy M. Cohn, right? And I did a bit of Google while I was watching the film on digital, and I was like, oh, this political figure, he is like the guy behind the scenes pulling strings.
He's the mastermind.
Right? He is the mastermind, right? When people like to talk about, shadow cabinet or like secret party or like, if I want to go further, again, not supporting or talking shit about anyone else, the Illuminati, for example, right? He gives that very secret vibe, the guy behind the scenes pulling all the strings of what we then see on media, right? Not the greatest person, not the most ethical person, but we also understand why he does it in the guise of like putting America first all the time, right? I would say The Apprentice itself, why they have chosen the title The Apprentice is because we see Trump as the Apprentice.
Yes.
To this legendary political figure that works behind the scene named Roy Cohn.
Yeah. Like Roy Cohn truly made Trump who he is.
Yep.
Like you see a lot of that in the beginning because what I love is the fact that this is a very neutral sort of film. Like I said before, it doesn't go about bashing Trump just for the sake of it. It really delivers an actual sort of quote unquote factual story of how Cohn made the man who he is. Because in the beginning, he was a very different person.
Yep.
Like you see, he was very meek, very sort of scared of things, always trying his best, almost like, as Roy Cohn said, a loser.
I wouldn't say the word loser. Yes, that was reference.
Yeah.
I would say he is a very stereotypical Boy Scout.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
He is a Boy Scout in a very vicious world.
Yeah. And always going up to Roy Cohn going, I need your help. I need you to do this. I need your help. Like, until middle of the second act, you start to truly see Trump as we know him today. And it was all Roy Cohn's doing.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I thought was great about this film is that we really get an insight into the mind of these two, so not leaders, but these two characters, as I would call them. Now, at first I was a bit worried because initially Sebastian Stan didn't somehow get the voice of Trump. But I was imagining Trump now, like, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cat, that all that sort of stuff. But no, you got to remember Trump when he was younger.
Wasn't like that.
He wasn't like that when he was younger. So you can see Sebastian really get all the mannerisms of Trump. All the hand movements, even the lips.
Yes,
The
I was just
lips
about to say the
itself.
lips. Like when he says the vowel of like, oh, is that?
Yeah.
Like there's this. I'm just gonna put like a picture of him saying that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But he managed to get every nuance of Trump, and I thought
agree.
that was fantastic because after a while, when he starts to put on the weight and whatnot, you're like, damn. This really is Trump. That is him. And even in that final shot in the third act, before the ending sequence where he's looking out the window, you're like, damn, Stan pulled it off.
Yep.
This man can do anything, including playing Trump. Total side note though, there's another actor that actually played Trump quite well as well, although a bit caricaturish, but it was still great. Johnny Depp. Okay, if you haven't seen this film, it was a parody film, of course, by Funny or Die, that was on Netflix for a while, called The Art of the Deal, the movie. And it was this over-the-top caricaturish character of Trump.
Oh my God. Okay,
Yes.
I see it.
And Johnny Depp
It's
played
this
Trump.
one, right? It's this one, right?
Yes, that's the one.
Okay.
He did a fantastic job with that. So if you haven't seen that one, that's more satirical, but go and watch that. But
I feel
honestly,
like,
Sebastian knocked it out of the park.
I feel like both Sebastian Stan and Jeremy Strong played a very grounded character, real to life.
Yes.
How accurate this biopic is, we will truly never know because Trump did come out and said that, this is, not his life.
Of course he would.
Of course, right? Without going much into the detail of politics or even, the person this film is depicting. I would say the entire film was shot really, really well. The timeline, the pacing.
Yes.
It's a bit, I mean, there's one big complaint I always talk about when it comes to film. It's like, I feel like a lot of films are too draggy. I said it in Venom. I'm going to say it in The Apprentice as well. It's like 2 hours long, 2 hours.
It was about 2
runtime.
hours plus, yeah.
I felt like there were a couple of scenes that could be enhanced and there were a couple of scenes that could be taken out, right? But overall, I like how it pays a very respective homage to the 80s filmmaking.
Yes.
It feels like I'm watching a New York cop TV show, not even a film,
Yes.
right? Because it's not shot in digital, it was shot in film and you can see
Oh,
you
that
can
makes
see the
sense.
grain.
Yes.
You can see the grain, you can see the ratio, you can see the framing.
Yeah.
It's done so well.
Like it really encapsulates the feeling of the 80s and the 90s, especially how New York was at that time. It was pardon my French, but it was a shithole. Literally, there was trash everywhere, there was crime everywhere. And Trump, like it or not, Trump Tower sort of turned things around a little bit in terms of the economy.
Yep.
And it really showcases that ability of what happens when power gets too much into you.
Yeah.
It can be the greatest blessing because it can turn a whole city around, or it can be the greatest curse leading up to a presidency to turn the country into shit.
No comments there. No comments. No comments there. But
and who knows? It may happen a second time at this time of recording. We don't know.
Yeah. So the entire story of The Apprentice follows Trump, or Trump in his early days, where he was, like you said, timid, a bit shy. What I say, like a Boy Scout, right?
Yeah.
And then he was trying to. He was trying to one up his dad, which was already back then a entrepreneur. He is a developer, right? And we can also see that his family background is from a immigrant family coming into New York. His dad was just leasing out buildings, and then he had a bigger vision. And his dad couldn't fill the role of the mentor for him to actually gain this bigger vision that he wanted, which is what we've seen in the film Trump Tower, and just making good or doing good for New York, for example, right? That's where Roy M. Cohen, or Jeremy Strong's character, came in, played the role of a mentor, very deceptive, very dirty, very despicable, I would even say.
It's very slimy.
Yeah. Right? Slimy.
He's the embodiment of dirty politics.
Yeah, right? So I would say The Apprentice itself kind of broke down not Donald J. Trump as a individual, but the story of Roy Cohen as well.
Yes.
Right? How did this elusive person in politics groom and grow or mentor this person to become who he is today?
Yeah.
Because one of the biggest takeaway that I've gotten from the film is his 3 rules, right? Always attack, deny everything, and always claim victory. Which is exactly
who
what
he is.
Yeah, right? What we see today. I don't follow much of American politics, nor do I care much of it to a certain extent, right? But everyone knows Trump, right? My mom knows Trump. Your mom probably knows Trump. We know how he speaks. We know how he does this and that. And it goes back to the 3 rule.
Yeah.
Always be on attack, always deny everything, and always claim victory.
And that's him to a T.
Yeah.
Now, I just want to talk a little bit about Jeremy Strong, because I really want to talk about his performance in this. Because watching him, I just couldn't take my eyes off his character. Like, him playing Roy Cohn, as I said before, is so enigmatic. Like, you know how disgusting and slimy he is, but at the same time, you can't help but be sucked into his performance. Every time he's on screen, you're just like, who is this man? Why am I so attracted and disgusted at the same time? But also what we talked about just before we started the episode recording is that you didn't feel any sorrow for him at his death.
I did not.
You did not?
I did not.
I felt half-hearted about his death, and that's purely because of the filmmaking and how it was done. Because there is a moment where the second act starts, where you start to see Cohen look at Trump and go,
what have I done?
In the eyes.
Yeah.
It's just, what have I done?
Yep.
What have I created? This is wrong. Like, even though he doesn't say it, you can see it in the eyes. And I love it when an actor can tell so much with just their eyes.
I saw it in a completely different spectrum. What I saw was, oh shit, I fucked up. What have I done? Right? And I also felt like it was a little too late, and the character of Jeremy Strong, Roy Cohen, also knew it was too late.
Yes.
Right? Because at the third act, at the final scene, he was trying to get
Mar-a-Lago,
he was trying to get Trump's attention by calling, and then the receptionist or his PA was like, oh, Roy called 3 times. Oh, just put him in the room alone, or things like that. You can tell that he don't care anymore. Because Trump depicted in this film, right, is someone who, when he already got his riches, when he already got his fame, his success, no one else mattered. You can see the disgust he had for his dad. You can see the disgust he had for his brother. You can see the disgust he had for Roy when Roy had AIDS.
And let's not forget his wife.
Right,
Ivana, as well.
and also his wife as well. Pity her as well.
If it doesn't benefit him, he doesn't need you anymore. That's essentially it.
And I say I didn't feel much for Roy's, I would say, death or leading up to his death was because he is the kind of person, again, don't know much about his history, what I've seen in the film. He is a homosexual. He is gay. And he has the guts to use that against politicians, against other people to his own benefit. Right? Because he wants to always win.
Yes.
Right? He prosecute gay men for being gay in politics for his own gain without admitting that he was gay himself. Right? Even in the interview scene at the end, he also said that, I don't have AIDS.
It's just liver cancer.
Right? Just liver cancer or even pneumonia, for example. Right? So I feel like he found his conscience at the very end at his life, right? And after he got AIDS, and you can tell that he was sick because he was just so gloomy, he was sick, so sickly, right? You can tell that he is regretting the choices he made in life, and the biggest one is Trump, right?
Also, random note, like if you want to know more about Roy Cohn, especially in the later years of his life when he was battling this AIDS, go watch Angels in America. Because Angels in America, it's a fantastic musical. It's a groundbreaking musical and theater performance. It tells the story. The center character is Roy Cohn.
Oh, shit.
And in his later years of his life when he was battling AIDS.
It's a musical about him?
Yeah, it's quote unquote. It's more than just him, but he's the pivotal character in that.
Played by Al Pacino.
Al Pacino and in
Meryl
Broadway
Streep.
was very famously played by Nathan Lane.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
Angels in America. Theater people will know Angels in America. You can't avoid that performance. But also another thing about his performance is that...
Wait, him as in like...
Jeremy Strong.
Okay.
Jeremy Strong's performance is... Oh, sorry, no. Both him and Sebastian Stan and the two characters they play, what I also love about it is that they somehow managed to humanize the characters.
Yeah.
Because there was that moment with Trump when his brother passed, where he's like, don't touch me, don't touch... Where it's almost that moment of like, he wants to cry, but he knows he can't because he needs to follow what Roy Cohn told him. Never admit defeat, never show weakness, none of that. Even in the most brutally grieving moments, he doesn't let himself do that.
No, knowing that he was somewhat the cause of his brother's death as well, for not helping him when the brother was like, lost his job as a pilot, was,
down in the dumps.
Right? And he just pushed him away.
And I was like, am I actually pitying this man?
Yeah.
No, see, and that's why I feel conflicted as well. I'm like, I shouldn't pity him, but like, I know you are this man, but we always tend to forget, and I'm not humanizing him at all, but we also tend to forget these people are still human beings.
There are the portrayal of them in front of a camera, and there's also a portrayal of them behind the scenes, right? Because we both are in media, and you can see a lot of influencers or like people who are well known in front of the camera, but then behind the scenes they're like, bro, you're so different. Why are you so quiet? Why you don't talk much, right? And it's the same for politicians also. I'm assuming, right? Where they can be like super gung ho, super like uptight and everything, but then behind the scenes, there's even a scene in The Apprentice where Roy Cohn threw a party, and you see all these big names and politicians taking drugs, doing illicit things, getting spanked, right? And there's a in front of camera you, which is the media you, and then there is the real you
behind the scenes.
Real you,
So I feel like The Apprentice is a great film to showcase these two characters that you may not know
or
that
agree
much
with.
about or agree with. Even if no matter what your viewpoints may be on Trump and Cohn, I still feel you should watch this film. Just for the performances alone, and also to see a different viewpoint of the whole saga between the two of them.
I would say it does justice to the genre of being a biopic, right? A dramatic biopic, right? Doesn't change my view on who this individual is. Both this individual are. But it was great to actually see how he was brought up, how he was mentored, and how he became the man he is today that we all know. I mean, if you open TikTok, you open Instagram, or even YouTube, for example, we just get bombarded with like, this guy's doing this, he said this, and you're like, why is he like that? Why is there someone so menjijikkan, right? Like so right? How can someone like that exist in our world?
And now we understand.
And this kind of explains it. Again, it's a biopic. It's a Hollywood thing. You can't take it with a grain of salt. Is what I'm trying to say, right? This may be true, may be false. The operation, the
right, the tummy tuck and all
right.
that.
again, I don't know if there's proof out there. I did not do research if there was proof out there, but it's believable.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
So, putting this on our little clapper meter right here. I'm trying to point at the right direction. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Our clapper meter. I would give this a good solid 8. Like, I would give it an 8 because there's very little I didn't like about the film. And I feel the performances alone earns all those points.
I agree.
What about you?
Same.
Same, 8 as well.
I wanted to give it a 7.5, but I feel like 8 mainly because both the main character and the supporting character, which is Sebastian Stan and Jeremy Strong, so well done.
Yes.
So well done. I just want to throw in that Mariah Bakalova again.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. The actress who portrays Ivana Trump, she was so well in the film as well.
Yes. She's come a long way from Borat.
Oh, it's the Borat?
Yeah. The second Borat film, his daughter, that's her. Oh, I've just blew Kelvin's mind.
No.
Yeah, that's her. That's her. That's Borat's daughter.
Interesting.
So yes, go and watch The Apprentice. Throw away your viewpoints about those two infamous people and watch it for the performances. If anything, just watch it for Jeremy Strong and Sebastian Stan. They will blow you away with their performances. I guarantee it.
Yeah, I just want to say if Jeremy Strong? Yeah, Jeremy Strong. If Jeremy Strong will win a leading role in the supporting, win a nomination, for a supporting role in this film, it's very, very well done. Like,
the man deserves it.
When I was just watching it, I was like truly afraid and anxious of what this guy would do next.
Yeah.
Because he's always the quiet, stoic guy in the background, right?
You never see him blow his top.
Yes.
Never until the third act.
Yes.
And when he does, oof.
Yeah. Solid 8 out of 10 for me.
Okay. So, do yourself a favor, go and catch The Apprentice. It is out on digital, so go and rent or purchase yourself a copy. Watch it. Let us know what you think in the comments down below. And as always, you can check us out on all social media, Instagram, TikTok, and of course, YouTube. Go and follow and subscribe to those outlets for more updates.
www.renegadeplus.com for all things podcasting.
There we go. Thank you so much again for watching. I am Nick Dorian.
And I'm Kelvin Tay.
That's Blinky over there. Keep watching the movies.